Very good morning, everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of podcast. And this is special podcast with BPMA, Benfield's Professional Medical English, and we have got very special guest, Dr. Alicia Benfield, and she will take us through everything about the
language preparation side.
Language, importance of IELTS, OET, and how it is important for the doctors who are planning for the PLAB journey. Then we have got Dr. Humour with us. He's academic lead of Hive Medical Academy, and he will taking us through about the Global Medics NHS program and other sports, Hive and BPM together providing for the international medical graduates. So welcome on board, everyone.
Hello.
Thank you for having me.
Right. So Alicia, just tell us a bit more about yourself, about BPME, and about the importance of English and other things.
Right. So hi, everyone. I'm Alicia Benfield of Benfield's Professional Medical English, and we exist mainly to promote good language communication skills in healthcare professionals who are international graduates planning to work in primarily English-speaking countries, namely going geographically Canada, the US, the United Kingdom, which is a huge uptaker, Australia, New Zealand, and then peppered in between there are places that require it, like Singapore and so on. We offer actually not just language preparation testing, which is OET and IELTS, and I'll come to the difference between those in a minute, but also medical English. Medical English, like any other language or any other part of English, is something you can learn. So if you are trying to improve your medical English for any reason, it could be to do language placement exams or language registration exams, or it could be that you're writing a paper or you're presenting at an international conference, or for example, our US MLE candidates, they're polishing their job interview skills and English is not their first language. This is what we do. So our services are wide ranging. Today, however, the focus is going to be on OET and IELTS.
Yeah.
Now, anyone who has either registered with international medical graduate who has already embarked on the journey to move to one of these countries, up to and including the United Kingdom NHS, or who has done their research, you will know that yes, you have got to get your medical licensing exams down, dusted, and passed brilliantly. But then the next door, or one of the other door you have to go through, is language certification. And for that, you need one of two things: OET, the Occupational English Test, or IELTS, and not just any IELTS for professional registration, but IELTS academic. And that is very, very important because it represents that higher level of communication skill that you have to have when you are dealing with complex, high stakes situations, both communicating with the general public and communicating with your team. So that's a brief overview. I won't take up any more time. I will pass the baton back to you, Dr. Shakil.
Thank you. That sounds great, and thank you for explaining. While being an international medical graduate, and when I did long time ago my IELTS, I was confused. I think there was no option of OET those times. But since the OET came into exam, one of the process of for the PLAB journey, majority of students they become confused which one is better. Should I go for IELTS? Should I go for OET? which is easy, which is difficult. So what's your experience? What you suggest for the doctors especially, or what would be better for them?
Now, to be perfectly honest, that is an excellent question and dead common. It is a question we always get, which is quote unquote easier and which is quote unquote better. And unfortunately, the answer is neither and both. Here's why. Both of them have advantages and disadvantages. Let's start with IELTS. These days, let's be realistic, let's be practical. If it's hitting your pocket too hard, it's going to be hard for you to undertake. And IELTS, yes, is financially more affordable. It is cheaper than OET. At least it used to be. Quite recently, however, OET, in a drive to overcome that price point, they have offered a discount that actually brings OET price to within $10 of IELTS actually. Okay, so you're talking like 360 or so, and I think numbers off the top of my head, I'm very sorry, I'm thinking in multiple currencies here, whereas IELTS is somewhere like a 345, but you can see it's now very, very, very close. Language wise, first of all, language requirements. Sorry, anyone out there who says, oh, I'm going to do IELTS or OET because the language point is lower. It is not. For IELTS gives you an overall score, a single mark. And for IELTS to register for healthcare, registration bodies, licensing bodies are looking for a band 7.5 or above. Okay? With OET does not usually give an overall score, and I'll come to that in a little bit. It doesn't give an overall score. You have got to score 350B or higher if you are an IMG in order to be considered as passing OET. Now here's the thing. There's a thing called mapping where you compare one scoring system to another. And guess what, guys? A 7.5 to 8 and above in IELTS is the equivalent of a 350B in OET. So there is no easier or harder. However, OET, for those who are, for example, coming from a foreign language speaking background, that is, they don't actually live in an English speaking setting. Yeah. So for them, they're learning language, almost you can say at a desk. For them, because they are perhaps reading textbooks in English and, watching CME English lectures, they make me feel more comfortable. And the fact that, let's face it, most of the technical terms in medicine are Greek or Latin. They translate across multiple languages. For that reason, they may feel more comfortable going with OET. Apart from which, there's that psychological comfort because OET focuses only and exclusively on healthcare situations, clinical and non. That's it. Whilst IELTS, yes, it's more popular, it's been around longer and what's not, but IELTS, they can ask you anything from coal mining to gardening to banking systems and politics, history. It's a wild west of topics that they can bring. However, there are many people who they're just more familiar with IELTS. The last thing is requirements. and I'm talking about marking requirements. Now, IELTS Academic is focused on academic functioning, so it's for people coming into university and blah, blah, blah. And they tend to be more strict and really looking with a magnifying glass at things like grammar and spelling and punctuation and even word count. It's got to be 150 words in your writing and then 250 words, not a single word over it. Whereas OET, it is a professional communication they're looking at. So there's a little bit more wiggle room there if you've got all the clinical information that you need in there, but maybe you wandered over your writing word count by 20 words, 40 words, 50 words. They don't care. It's if you're wandering all over the place, then yeah, the examiners start to put down their foot. So for that reason, there's some people who might say, okay, you know what, let me stick with OET, but level of hardness, how difficult it is, no. Both of them require high intermediate to advanced language level. We're talking on the CEFR, which is the Common European Framework Reference for Languages. We're talking a B2 plus to a C1 minus minimum. And it's the same for us.
Yeah.
When you map them.
That sounds good. Thank you. But in other words, we could say, whatever exam the students they want to take it, BPME and high, they'll make it easy for them because they have got the, they have got the tutors, examiners, experts with the decades of experience. Either it's English, or it's the PLAB journey. So whatever exam they want to decide will make it easy for them. So
exactly.
So Dr. Moore, what are your thoughts about it? You speak and you have been teaching and training students, doctors, medical students, pharmacists. You have come across several international medical graduates. What are the common challenges from English to the PLAB journey? What they come across?
Yeah.
What are their thoughts?
It's a great question, and I'm glad you asked it, because before we sat down to speak, I wrote down like 5 things that I think people struggle with when they're coming from abroad as IMGs. And obviously they can be very fluent in English as well, because especially places like India, they're taught English from childhood. So technically they might, although they're not native English speakers, they might almost be, because they're very fluent. But there are a few things, like I was saying, that I wrote down. So accents, I think they're very challenging. Obviously, I can see Dr. Scale laughing. He's probably remembering the first time he had a Scouse or a Glaswegian accent or a Geordie accent. You think you know English, and then you sometimes, I mean, myself as a native English speaker, sometimes I feel I might need subtitles when I'm listening to somebody with a really strong accent. So that's really challenging. Idioms and colloquial English, I think Dr. Alicia will know a lot about this, because it's probably part of the teaching. I think that's what IMGs might struggle with, so if somebody says I'm feeling funny, what they actually mean is not that they're feeling humorous or amused, but that they're feeling unwell. So, these kind of things are a challenge. What else was it? Humor. So the British humor, characteristically is sarcastic. I'm quite a sarcastic person when I'm being humorous, and I think IMGs struggle with, they might think that, I think it can be quite overwhelming initially, because they're not sure how to take it. It's not something that they're used to, so bringing all of this into that transition and making sure they understand all of this, as well as just passing the exam, I think is obviously really important. I'm sure BPME do fantastic work on that. Just a couple of final things. One is, I think maybe IMGs as well, if the sooner they realize that the more you can connect with the patient on non-medical stuff, that the better the consultation will go. So even saying something as, we British, we love to speak about the weather, or or asking someone how they're enjoying hospital food, or anything that's not to do with their health or their care. It might just open them up and bring them out. And the final thing that I try to to put into our PLAB course is just the importance of just if something's not clear in your mind, then it's not going to come out clearly, and the other person, whether it's the patient or whether it's a simulated patient or an examiner, they're going to struggle to understand it. So expression, I love language. I'm really big on I'm a bit of a grammar warrior and all this kind of stuff, and I think speaking clearly is a really, really good skill, and we try to incorporate that as much as we can into the PLAB course, because it's really crucial for them to just pass their exams, but of course in order to do well with patients in real life as well. So I might have stirred up some memories or some funny stories or anecdotes for both of you there, but I think these few things are really important.
That's good, thanks. And I definitely could correlate few things about it. One is when I did my rotation in Liverpool, so I was not aware of the Liverpool accent and dialect, so it took me days to adapt to that one. And other is a story when I was my first job. I passed my PLAB and went for the first job, and very close to medical secretaries, and we were just having lunch in the cafe, and we were just talking to a group of friends, and she was sitting there, and she was British, so we were just giving opinions, and I said something and she said, "Oh no, I know where you're coming from." So she meant that she understands my point of view, but because I was new in the UK, I thought, oh, she's thinking that I am coming from Pakistan. I'm, I'm coming from the developing country. I'm not this. So see how important was it? I completely misunderstood what she was wanting to say and what she said. So this has happened to most of international medical graduates, because they're new to culture, new to system, new to environment, new to accents, dialects, everything. So this is great that BPME and Hive Medical Academy, they're not just focusing to prepare them to pass the exam, they prepare them the better person, better doctor, better speaker, and everything. So I know BPME has got silver success pathway, golden success pathway. Similarly, Hive has got, and this is one of the beauty, Hive and BPME, they are one team in supporting when making their foundation very strong from day one, from English to onwards. So what are the other benefits of joining? If somebody wants to join the IELTS or OET and they want to go ahead a Global Medics NHS program, both of you, if you could explain, if they want to, silver package is better for them, silver success pathway, golden, what are the options for them? One of the doctor, he wants to join it, what are options, what they could do it?
Okay, so not everyone coming to us is going to be at the same English level. So we don't do, one of the things we do not do is one size fits all. For that reason, we have two kinds of placement tests. Now there's a quick and dirty one, but it does test those basic skills that you are going to come across in the OET language level wise. That one takes about 30 minutes, and that one's actually free of cost on our platform. So anyone from anywhere who is now coming in and thinking, should I really do OET? We call it our pre-OET skills assessment test. And you can just go on our website, click the link, do it, you get the results, we get the results, because often people will do it and then shoot a note to us and go, well, based on this, what do you think I should do? And we are able then to go into the system, pull it up, and look at what section they're scoring high in versus scoring low in, what kinds of questions. For example, are they getting their basic vocabulary correct and their basic grammar pretty well, which pretty good, or pretty well, which tells us, okay, your speaking and your writing subtests might actually be less of a challenge. But when now it's coming on to the reading sections, we're noticing that they can identify language, for example, of inference, language of opinion and attitude, and so on, which tells us then your listening part, C, B and C, your reading part B and C, if it's OET you're doing, may become a challenge for you. So the pre-OET skills test, the one that's free, gives a nice quick and dirty overview, but it is not, and I want to emphasize this, it is not a full OET test. And that's the other kind that we have. We've got a full mock test there that you can go in. It is computer based, so you do not have to wait for us. You register, you pay for the test, you register, it appears in your account, you click, you go, it's timed as for the real OET, including doing your writing and your speaking. Sorry. And that not only tests your language, but you get trial by fire doing the actual OET itself. So it has the added advantage of seeing how well you can focus for 3.5 hours straight and how you perform under pressure with that specific test format. Okay, IELTS mock tests we also do for the same reason. So that's the first part. You do your pre-OET test. Then based on that, we have a core of materials, practice tests, as well as skills development. Now, everybody loves to dive straight in. I just want to do practice tests. I just want to do practice tests. But they do not understand what these practice tests are about. It's not just about getting the right answer and the wrong answer. Actually, if you take a step back and look at what skill is being tested and develop that skill, it may look like you're slowing down, but actually you accelerate your progress. So we've got the practice test. Then we have our series, which is our brand series called the OET Coach, written by yours truly. And it is basically about test strategy, tips and strategies, pitfalls and opportunities in the test. Lots of people think that, like OET or IELTS is out to get them. And we're telling them that, yes, these are challenging tests. But because we understand how these tests are written, we can help you. You see, okay, you see this? This is where you grab an opportunity. You see that? That's the kind of pitfalls that they put in. So when you work with us, it's not just about getting practice materials. It is that you are in a system that understands your learning curve, that understands what you need to know, and has a wide range of flexible materials. So if you come in and you're really, really good, you need our silver package, and then a few one-on-one classes, you're good to go. But if you come in and you do need a little bit more, we can offer it to you, and you can add on. And the joy of Hive and BPME working together is that it is smooth. You guys say to us, okay, we saw your feedback on how the student is doing. We've spoken to the student. We've read your recommendations. They're going to go with your recommendations, and we go bim bam boom. It's in their account, and they are good to go. And also communication. You can chat with us either in our WhatsApp group that we have together with Hive, or email, and we copy everything. So it's a full team supporting the student, so that when they reach out in the dark, they're not grabbing air. There's somebody there to help them.
This is great that, very simple, straightforward, where we're supporting them, and we're accommodating everyone. Either somebody is very fluent in English, requires a little bit, or somebody needs more time. So this is beautiful. And Sam, Dr. Umar, tell us a bit, how we are at High Medical Academy, how we are accommodating everyone. Like we have got some specialized programs like GMP, Success, and then if somebody doesn't want to go, so what's the journey could be? Somebody wants to do, so what they could choose, what are the options we have?
Yeah, I think it's really important point Alicia made right at the beginning, that one size doesn't fit all.
Yeah.
And I think if there would be one thing I would pick about Hive to shout about and to be really proud about, it's the fact that we will support people with whatever preparation they need in whatever way we are able to and that we can. So for example, obviously we have our traditional kind of not set in stone, but almost very kind of very classic PLAB courses, whether they are online in terms of PLAB 1 or PLAB 2 and face-to-face in terms of PLAB 2, a full 10-day course with 2 mocks included, etc., and other variations of that. But what we've found and what we've learned over the last couple of years is that not everybody is the same, and how important it is to tailor your support. And so we had people approaching us about live classes. So we said, well, if people need live classes, let's do live classes. We might be used to independent learning. Somebody coming from abroad is less used to independent learning, and so they want to feel that kind of comfort of being spoon-fed or having an expert available to ask and to check live. So live classes, we do them online, we do them in person, and as Dr. Skeel said, obviously we have some of our more comprehensive packages which also include accommodation, help with visa application, and these essentially they have come out of our stories and our understanding of the challenges of moving country. I never had to move country, although I had the opportunity to do it a couple of times, and I know how anxiety provoking it can be. So that's not even moving. But these guys who I'm sat with today, they've both moved countries, so they know better. But I came close to it, and I realized how difficult it was. It can be. So I can't imagine somebody actually having to do it. And so that's where that understanding comes from, and it comes through in both BPME and in Hive, in that it's not just about passing exams. There are lots of other worries and anxieties, and even simple things like, how am I going to get from the airport to the academy, or how far is the academy from the GMC test center, and how am I going to find accommodation? All of these other things. So the bottom line is, whatever support that you feel you need, we'll try to help. And I think that will sum up Hive, and I'm sure BPME as well.
That sounds great, and this is what the beauty of Hive and BPME, that whatever their needs, very customized, very personalized services for everything throughout their journey. Either it's the English, either it's the PLAB, either it's the job, interviews, either they just need support for the visa application, EPIC verifications, everything they will get. So just would you mind to just share some success stories, because we have millions of students, Alicia, they have passed OET IELTS in flying colors. Tell us something like some candidate who was not very good and passed the exam and then came back, oh, thank you so much, I was not expecting, but I passed it. Sam, for Dr. Umar, will share some stories as well.
How many stories? Okay, first of all, yeah, well, first of all, before I say that, one of the things that I want to share is the importance of the fact that the team that leads GMNP have been there and done that themselves. So you guys have done PLAB, you have taught PLAB, you, Dr. Shakil, you did leave Pakistan and come to the UK and integrate and start a family and so on. And me, I have lived in 12 different countries up to and including having to learn a foreign language, not once but twice, Spanish and German, to live and work in foreign countries. And I can tell you that, Dr. Umar, you're absolutely right. Learning the language is just point one. The rest, nobody prepares you for until you are knee deep and you swear you're drowning. So with that being said, some of my stories now in teaching, and I don't get uber personal, but I tend to get to know my students very, very well. And often because of my background, I can connect with them and I can understand their experiences. And two students come to mind very, very quickly. One is actually not an IMG, but an ING from Sri Lanka, and the other is an IMG from Egypt. Now, the IMG, we ran a competition, he won, and I must tell you, when I first started talking to him, I thought, I've got my job cut out for me, because language level was just not there. But we had a plan, we had a strategy, knowing not just the language, but the test. By then I had worked a lot with Arabic speaking the students. And we worked together intensively for about 3.5, nearly 4 months. And then he said he wants to do the test. And I honestly, I'm not going to lie to you, if he watches this, he will go, I didn't know you were thinking that. And I thought, all right, yeah, let's go and do it. I don't think you might pass, but let's go. I have prepared you. No, he was prepared. But you know, there's always that factor. Do you know he went in? First time ever studying for or even thinking of doing OET. Language not nearly as good as some of my other students. You know, he passed. Clean, clear, and smooth.
Wow.
360s and 390s. I'm there like, you've got to be kidding me. I said, what did you do? He goes, I just did what you told me to do.
Wow.
That's all he did. And then the other one is a lesson from a nurse from Sri Lanka, a lesson in tenacity, so much so that even beyond him being able to pay, I just used to let him in the classes. During lights out on the bus, he just attended until after about a year, he sent me a picture and he said to me, he sent me the first email and he said, thank you, Dr. Alicia, I passed my OET. I'm there like, what? He goes, yeah. Third time with you, passed. The third time he did it with me. He goes, I passed my OET. And then 6 months later, he sent me a picture that made me cry. He was covered in snow on an escalator. And he said to me, I'm in the UK. I'm starting my new job in 2 weeks. He had passed his CBT and everything.
Wow.
And I cried. I kid you not, I cried like a baby.
Good. That reminds me of another story of one of your students. I think you forget. Jace, she was a nurse. She did OET with you. And yeah, she's in UK now. She has passed her OSCE as well. And she is working in NHS now.
Yeah. And she still texts with me.
Yeah.
Up to this day, she still texts with me.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. But yeah, I've got, it's been what, 9 years now. I've got quite a few of those. What about you, Umar?
Yeah, I'm gonna just pick two as well. There are so many, but I'm gonna pick two, and both for different reasons. So the first one, so I'm not gonna use their names because of course GDPR and all the PLAB students watching, you need consent before you share information, remember. So we'll go by what we preach. The first one, brilliantly capable student. Everyone will know. If he's listening or if he listens, he'll know I'm talking about. Everyone in the team who we're speaking about. And he probably didn't really need us but in the sense that, you know, he needed, he said he found us by searching online, and the very first conversation he had with Dr. Skeel, he said, I felt immediately that you guys just understood everything better. You knew the challenges, you know, he connected with us. And but he came on, he purchased our courses, he did outstandingly well in his PLAB 2, PLAB 1, well above 90%. Said our mocks were basically like the real exam. Then his PLAB 2, he scored very, very highly on that. And he was just a guy who, he just gives off this energy. He's so enthusiastic. He's such a positive person. And the reason why I'm sharing about him is because he's a good example of somebody who was so capable, so competent, so bright, but still needed us around to hold his hand a little bit and to give him some guidance and some mentorship and to tell him about the nuances of the exam and communication and the process and what he would need to do when he gets here and all that kind of thing. So he's one I'm sure everyone will never forget, and we wish him the very best. The second one is much more recent. She was a PLAB 2 student, and she, bless her, I remember in the early parts of the course, she would just freeze in the practice sessions, like just go blank. And I used to have to call a timeout on her behalf. Like, she wasn't even confident enough to just say, I need a break. So I used to say, okay, timeout now. This is where you're up to. This is what you've done. Take a second to gather your thoughts and blah, blah, blah. Lots of hand-holding, lots of confidence building. And in every mock that we did 2 mocks. She said, oh, it was a disaster. It was a total disaster. The first one, she didn't do very well. The second one, she did really, really well. And so we had high hopes for her that she came a long way. And she came out of the PLAB 2 exam. She spoke to us. We had a conversation with her. She was crying on the phone, saying, "Oh, it was horrendous. I failed. I forgot everything. My mind went blank and all this." And of course, we were surprised because we thought she's going to pass. We didn't know if she'd do really well, but we thought she's going to pass. She had the capability. And anyway, I had a sneaking feeling. I said to Dr. Skeel, I said, look, she's said this before. Let's just wait and see. I'm sure she might just, have got the wrong end of the stick. We saw how much she improved. And she passed comfortably. She sent us a message saying she'd failed. And I was like devastated. I was like, and she said, "Oh, I'm only pranking you. I passed." And I was like, "Oh, don't do that to us." She did it to both of us.
Yeah, and I don't think students realize how personally invested
honestly,
we become in them. It's like we're in the exam with them. And
she was in one of our batches, like our smaller batches, so we get to spend a lot of time with them. It's almost 1-to-1, if not 2-to-1 tuition, and it was for her and the other student who was with her. And so just to see that, kind of low on confidence, who was even struggling to complete the 8-minute station by knowing what to do, and then coming out and actually doing very well in the exam. That's the kind of stuff I teach for, and I'm sure Dr. Skeel, yourself and Dr. Alicia, you can relate to that. So yeah, really heartening stories.
That's true. And this is the beauty of IB and BPME, that we take everything very personally. We put the students at heart of everything. We do more than we always go extra mile. It's like you said, like we are in exam, we are also stressing out, they have exam students. So this is not everywhere it happens. This is just with the passion and all the enthusiasm that we make them very special. We train them with our best efforts. So finally, what's the take-home message for any doctor anywhere in the world they are thinking of coming to UK? From both of you, what would you advise them?
Okay, I'll go first. I will say to them, it is possible, even though it looks overwhelming. It is possible. Others have done it before, and you can do it too. However, you come into this with your head correctly screwed on. One of the things I have seen that is a counterpoint to your saying how invested we are is students, at least with OET and IELTS, they're in the classroom with us, but then they leave us and they go and they get their main advice on what to do and what not to do and how to do it from groups, because those groups have in people that pass the test, but they don't really realize what it is that helped those people pass. Even those people don't realize why they're passed. They don't know what they did right and what they did wrong. They're thinking, like your student, Dr. Umar, oh, I did all of this wrong, when in fact, actually, that's the part you did right.
Exactly.
The part that you think you did okay. Okay. So when students self-sabotage, we also take it personal. And I've had those as well. Students who self-sabotage because the pull of these social media groups is too strong to ignore. I just want to say to them, look, we have been doing this for what? Between the three of us, 30 years. We know what we're talking about. We've seen the successes. We've seen the failures. When we tell you to jump, jump. When we tell you to hold, hold. We're not doing this for us. We're doing it for you. So take advantage of that. You would be a fool to throw away that kind of access and that kind of opportunity. So if there's one takeaway I would say to them is that, and the second thing is, we got you. We have got you, as we say in the Caribbean. We've got you, okay? Whatever you want, whatever you need with respect to learning, whatever obstacle you have got to get across, whether it's language learning, technique, or that psychological barrier. We've been there, we've handled it. There's very little new you can bring. So bring it.
Great. I would just say maybe two things as well. The first is that all good things in life happen after a conversation. So if you're thinking of this journey, which might seem scary, it is scary and challenging, just have a conversation with our team. And within that, probably within your first two conversations, you'll speak to Dr. Shaquille, and he's the guy to tell you because he's done it. So pick up the phone, get in touch, have a conversation, and let's see how we can help. And related to what Alicia said, ignore the noise, ignore the experts out there who either, like you said, they may have passed the PLAB, they may have done very well, but they don't know what they actually did. They don't know how to coach you, they don't know how to teach you, and they don't know the real situation in terms of jobs or opportunities. Only the people here know that. So if you do have a conversation, make sure it's with an expert and not with a real expert, not with somebody who's got a following on social media because they like to spread negative news about the UK or the PLAB or job saturation or whatever. So have a conversation, but make sure it's with an expert. And if it's with a BPME or Hive expert, then that's probably best.
That sounds perfect. So simple and straightforward. Anyone, anywhere in the world, you're a medical graduate or medical student and thinking or dreaming of UK NHS career. So we are a text away, we are email away, we are phone call away. Speak to us. We will guide you, we will hold your hand from day one till you get the job in NHS. And these are the people at BPME and Hive with the decades of experience. They have made success stories, they have helped thousands of, thousands of doctors, medical students to have a beautiful career. So thank you so much. This was the great. We have highlighted the importance of IELTS, OET, and everyone have got their own needs, and then we could fulfill their needs. Same for the Hive, they have got everything for everyone. So whatever the needs, whatever you have got requirements, we will fill those requirements. So hopefully soon we'll be back with another episodes where we'll discuss some more. We'll try to bring our students who could share their experience with BPME and Hive. So till next episode, take care and thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.